Last question? Last question. The brother in the very back. You, brother, yes.
Yeah, I agree with you in regards to said about boycotting Starbucks or protesting to the UK government doesn't achieve anything. You're right, because the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a genocide massacre is none of them, rather jihad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Surah Baqarah, fight those who fight you, drive them out from the land where they're driven you out. Of course, it requires capability and ability which belongs to those whose authority who have the means. But the question, my question in regards to those who do have the ability, capability, unfortunately, they're dancing with Shakira or they're normalizing ties and strengthening the Zionists. So my question is regard to Abrahamic Accord and these rulers, who are agents, who are normalizing and strengthening Israel. My question is regards to the agent dogs who are saying that we should obey these rulers and not even speak up against them. So the Fitnah, the title of your talk, it would be good for you to address these agents and the loyal dogs who tell us not to speak up against these agents.
All right. Well, that's a little over the top. That's okay. They're agents. If you presume them, if you want to consider them to be agents, I understand. Dogs is a little too much, yeah. Actually, this is a very dangerous thing to say. Because the people that are telling you to obey the rulers are telling you to obey the rulers based on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And if we say that someone who obeys the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ is becoming a dog, then this is tantamount to disbelief. Nobody in his right mind is going to agree with any of the munkarat that is happening as a Muslim. Yet, in spite of those munkarat, we have over 100 narrations from the Prophet ﷺ commanding us to listen and obey the ruler in the Muslim country. So you won't think I'm speaking about whoever's in charge here. I don't even know who's in charge here. Brother, let me ask you a question. We spoke about this yesterday. Do you know about the Sahabi who used to frequently be brought to the Prophet ﷺ for drinking alcohol and being drunk? Have you heard of this hadith? Does everybody know the hadith, or anyone know the hadith of a Sahabi who used to often get drunk and be brought to the Prophet ﷺ, and punishment will be done against him, he will be lashed. And the Sahaba became impatient with him and they verbally abused him. And the Prophet ﷺ prevented them and did not allow them to do so. And he said, verily, I know nothing of him except that he loves Allah and His Messenger. Please understand, this is a Sahabi who had witnessed the revelation of the ayah, فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُنْتَهُونَ, after Allah spoke about the khamr wal maisir being from the works of the shaitan. A Sahabi who knows that consuming alcohol is haram. He's getting drunk and he's being brought in front of the Prophet ﷺ and the other Sahaba on multiple occasions, falling back into the same sin as I was speaking earlier. And yet, he was not considered to be a disbeliever. Do you consider him to be a disbeliever?
I don't understand how is that linked to...
I'm telling you how that link. Dagiga.
Well, how is that linked to them?
I'm gonna answer you. Brother, look, brother, you're not gonna... My beloved brother, Jazakallah khair, brother. I'm trying to give you the link, but right now, you just want to outsmart me with just screaming. Please, let's have a civilized conversation. We have a lot of people here. I'm not here to have beef with anybody. But you need to hear me out. You didn't answer my question because you got cornered. Answer my question. Do you know of the hadith?
I'm the first one who asked you a question, so it's best for you to answer.
So you don't want to answer. Do you think he's a kafir? Was this Sahabi a kafir? The Sahabi who was drinking alcohol. Did he leave Islam?
I've already said to you, I don't know about the narration.
Now that you know about the narration, do you believe by him drinking alcohol multiple times, knowing it's haram, is he a Muslim or a non-Muslim? Why are you afraid of answering? Are you doubtful that the Sahabi...
I'm asking you, how is that linked to the question?
And to answer the question, and I will give you a beautiful link, you can click on it every day. Answer the question.
Like I said, I don't know the narration.
Now you know the narration. Is he a Muslim or a non-Muslim? He's a Muslim. Dancing with Shakira takes you outside of Islam? Answer, brother. Now, you don't know the hadith. Today, one of the brothers said, not you. One of them said, I'm going to X country to dance with Shakira. You say, welcome to Christianity, John. Do you take him outside the folds of Islam, or do you treat him as a Muslim, brother?
You missed my question.
No, wallahi, everybody knows I didn't miss your question. Habibi, brother, brother, you're digging your own hole. I'm not changing the topic.
My question is very specific. I'm not asking you whether I'm asking you, how do we justify backing ruling?
I'm getting there.
Israel? You talk about boycotting.
I'm getting there, but you don't want me to get there.
Economic ties and the shooting down missiles, protecting the Zionist interests.
Brother, I memorized your speech. Sheikh. Yes, I'm asking you a question. I've memorized your speech and you're repeating your speech with a louder voice. It is not going to work. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. If you want, in front of everybody, to get an answer, you need to be patient with me. You asking me a question, consider me crazy. Okay? I'm a crazy man and you came to a crazy man's lecture. This crazy man wants to take you on a ride. You want to get off? Khalas, you can get off the ride, no point in having a conversation. You want to get on the ride? It's on my terms. I want to ask you questions because I want the answer to come from you. You know you're going to get trapped in the corner, so now you're just weaseling your way out. In front of everybody, I'm calling you out. Right? Yeah, akhi, answer my question. If he went to Shakira, does he become a disbeliever?
That's not even a question.
I don't care about your question. I know your question. I'm giving you a question. Answer the question.
I'm just asking a question. That's what you're here for.
Brother, I know. I have an answer. Wallahi, I have my answer. But so, he knows. Habibi, he doesn't need anyone to explain. عادي, I can entertain this brother all day. I doubt we're going to meet after this, brother. I don't mind. But I'm sure that there will be some security concerns at this point. Brother Habibi, the people in charge, I'm gonna cut through the chase just to make you happy. Because you're a brother of mine, I love you for the sake of Allah. In spite of these differences, I'm still going to entertain your method of thinking and ignore mine. Because I was gonna get you there. The bottom line is, what the people in charge are doing is not kufr. That in and of itself is not kufr. The Prophet ﷺ described the people in charge that will come at the end of time. He said, جِسْمَانُهُمْ جِسْمَانُ إِنس. Their bodies will be the bodies of humans. وَقُلُوبُهُمْ قُلُوبُ الشَّيَاطِينَ. And their hearts will be like the hearts of the devils. لَا يَسْتَنُّونَ بِسُنَّتِي. They will not follow my sunnah. وَلَا يَهْتَدُونَ بِهَدْيِ. And they will not follow my guidance. In the same hadith, they said, what do we do? He said, you listen and you obey. Even if he strikes your back and take your money. Even if he strikes your back, flogs your back and take your money. So as long as the ruler is a Muslim, and if you want to reach a point where you also pass wholesale takfir against the rulers, then we are exactly like Dhul Khuwaisira, who thought the Prophet ﷺ himself was not just. The same method of thinking, this ultra-righteousness that Dhul Khuwaisira came, Ya Muhammad, i'dil, فَإِنَّكَ لَمْ تَعْدِل. He thought the Prophet ﷺ was not just enough. From him came the people that killed Uthman, who thought Uthman was not worthy of being a Khalifa. Uthman was not worthy of being a Khalifa. And they killed Ali, and they killed the Sahaba in the hundreds, and they humiliated them. And the Sahaba, and their prayer was better than the prayer of the Sahaba. Their Siyam was, appeared to be better than the Siyam of the Sahaba, but those were the dogs of the fire. If anybody deserves that title, it is the Khawarij. Those who pass takfir on the Muslims for committing a major sin. Dancing with Shakira is not kufr, ya akhi. Is not kufr. There's still a haram, and there's Mecca and Medina, and people are being served. Is it Jannatullah fi ardihi? Is it paradise on earth? La wallah, it's not. And it's never been, and it will never be. Only Mecca and Medina will be preserved from the Dajjal. The rest of the world is subject to fitan. Us whining and screaming about it and getting upset is not going to change anything. I'll tell you what will happen though. We can make attempts like they attempted in the Arab Spring, and you saw where that took. They got rid of the people in charge. Who came instead? Who came instead? Where's Syria? And where's Libya? And where are all these countries where they threw overthrew the person in charge and brought another person which was worse than the one before, could be. Or some of them wished that they had a ruler even if he was the most corrupt ruler, because without a ruler, the country is devastated. So all that happened, brother, is people died, Muslims died, we became weaker, the disbelievers took advantage of our weakness, divided us, dissected us, took our resources, took our petrol, took our cotton, took everything, while we are still bickering and trying to get rid of the ruler. So the only problem in the world is the ruler. Everything we're doing, no, ma fi mushkila. Drugs are everywhere, womanizing, all this, adi. But the ruler doing it, a'udhu billah. The problem is only with him. So what about with me and you and everybody else? Why are we shifting the blame on them? And let's say that you blame them. Let's say you go on public, say this, criticize the ruler and say whatever you want to say about him. Is he, by Allah, do you also think, like I said, he's sitting there waiting for you to speak? To do the inkar al-munkar? You forbade the evil. You think he's going to take advice from you, brother? Like this? La wallah. And you're not allowed. Aslan. The Prophet ﷺ already told us, if you have a nasiha for the person in charge, take him on the side. Take him on the side, tell him. If he accepts, then it's that. If he rejects, you have done your part. As for publicly speaking about them, it will not change anything, but guess what it will do? It will make the situation worse. Because they're not going to be silent, they're going to retaliate. If there's da'wah going on, it might stop. If there's khair going on, it might stop. You will actually make the situation worse for the Muslims. They will crack down on those rebels, and at the end of the day, you didn't achieve a thing, they are still in charge. Even if the ruler was a disbeliever like the ruler of Syria, and they thought they had the power to remove him, he's sitting right now drinking Turkish coffee, while the Muslims died in the millions in Syria, and the rest of them are all over the world begging the world to accept them. Nobody wants to accept them. May Allah make it easy for the Syrian brothers and sisters. And that was I don't know of any scholar who doesn't declare him to be a disbeliever. But ya akhi, you don't have the means. We don't have the means, you be patient. Al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf did worse than that to the ulama and to the scholars. They still didn't revolt against him. Ahl Sunnah. And they were still patient. Why? This is a matter of the deen. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of wisdom, a lot of discipline, a lot of submission to the textual evidence for a person to override his own ego and say sami'na wa ata'na. Once a person believes he is beyond that and better than that, then he is opening the door of the Khawarij, and because of the Khawarij, the Muslims have been suffering from then until today. ISIS killed more Muslims than non-Muslims by 100-fold. It's the same mentality, brother. So be careful, barakallah feek. Jazakallah khair. That was interesting.